at this stuff. It is. But I just thought I would go through it with you really quickly. And here we go. Okay. Let me see if you can rock with me through this. Okay. Day one of the Appropriations Committee here in the lovely state of Georgia. And, everybody's here to hear Governor Brian Kemp's intro. Everybody's in attendance. Let's see what he has to say. It won't be long, I promise.
Will be joining you like I am today, and will speak a little bit to some of the companies that we had the opportunity to meet with, and we've got a lot more to do here on our trip. I just want to thank the members of the Appropriations Committee and the members of the General. We had some great meetings.
Okay, and I just want to say whatever I say, it is all love. All love. And this shirt is in my shop. If you like it. It's a nice shirt to just, get around the house, go out in the world. And people look at you and smile, when they see it. Just saying. Okay, here we go.
Meetings here yesterday, and I know Commissioner Wilson will be joining you like I am today, and will speak a little bit to some of the companies that we had the opportunity to meet with, and we've got a lot more to do here on our trip. I just want to thank the members of the Appropriations Committee and the members of the General Assembly. With your help during my time in office, we've helped attract 171,000 new jobs and roughly $74.5 billion of investment to our great state. And I'm pleased to say that the amended 24 and fiscal year 25 budgets will help us further these historic economic development efforts in the years to come. As you all know, across Georgians, millions of hardworking families are dealing with the disastrous consequences of Bidenomics, and the federal government thinks the solution is to take more money out of the pockets of the taxpayers. But thankfully, here in Georgia, with your support, we're giving those dollars back to the people where it belongs.
That is what's up. Give the money back to the people. Yes. Okay. Okay, the next little piece. And I just want to highlight the people, I feel represents us, just to see what they're saying. Well, you see how far I gotta go to get to somebody. Okay, here's somebody. Let's see what he has to say.
Once again, I think looking at the funding, that always continues to be the issue. With a large district like Gwinnett, definitely they have more funding, more resources they can put towards the AP, because we're looking at QBE and how can we establish a course. It's not the lack or desire to, but if it has to come down to what our school districts are, able to put into place, because if they do not acquire the QBE funding, then that means any AP course would probably would have to come through local funding as resources as well. I think Russ, anything that you want?
That's good. That's good enough. Okay. Thanks a lot, because I know we're at a time crunch. So okay. I'm gonna go to my second question, which is about kids who are in poverty in the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm. 1 in 5 kids are in poverty in the state of Georgia, and there's no money in the budget that you just presented that suggests that we're going to do additional services for those kids. There's a ton of research out there that says if you just increase 21% per pupil in the money that we fund, we could eliminate the achievement gap that we have in schools. But I hadn't seen that in your presentation, that we're not talking about opportunity weights that the state could address right now for those 1 in 5 kids who are in poverty. Is that something that you guys are considering to do?
Yes, sir. I think when we looked at my priorities list this year that was released, one of the things looking at some type of weighted formula as far as it in regards to poverty. So it is something we are aware of. Currently, right now, that most of the addressment would probably come through our federal funding with Title I schools and supports through our federal programs.
Okay, I don't know what you heard, but I feel like I heard. Um, okay, we know your children in poverty, but you're gonna have to take it up in Washington because we ain't got it. Although we got 17 billion, we ain't got nothing for the kids in poverty. Sorry, sorry. Go to Biden. Go to the White House and get those funds. That's what I heard. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong, honey. Okay, let's see. The next person I saw is all the way down here.
Degrees are changing, skill sets are changing, bioscience is a growing number. I'd love for Georgia to be at the top of the list over health-related bioscience, technology, and research in that
There it is, folks. Get into those fields. Let's get it.
regard. And anytime a program comes up as a recommendation from our campus, those have been approved by the Board of Regents.
Chairman Billy Mitchell.
And you know what? They make these little slick, sly jokes. Uh, when it came to the people of color, although I don't use that term for us, but it just seemed like they have the little slick little comments. Excuse me. When they were about to speak or something like that. Let me show you what. Excuse me. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Senator, Governor, Secretary, Mr. Chancellor.
Come on, Billy. Come on, Billy. Come on.
You have a great story to tell, you really do. But,
I don't know. I felt some kind of way when I heard that the first time. But, let's listen.
what we do in Georgia, as in some states, we fund colleges based on prior year enrollment. And as a result, I agree with you, attaining a
He represents Stone Mountain, and that first guy represents Macon, Georgia. And the first guy's name is James Beverly, and this guy, I don't know if you heard him say the name, his name is Billy Mitchell, and he represents Stone Mountain.
degree, student success should be paramount. However, some schools don't do as good a job of retaining students. What in your shop are the efforts to retain students? And the part B of that question is, because of that way we fund schools, there are some schools in Georgia which their enrollment the previous year was down, and therefore they can't be innovative. They in fact, it has the opposite effect. They have to eliminate services and staff. How does your shop address those issues?
Both of those are good points. The good news is I think we've turned, even looking at the enrollment cliff, which is a demographic cliff for high school graduates coming, I think we turned the corner on the post-pandemic COVID response there. We saw our most 22 of our 26 institutions had enrollment growth year over year this past fall, and that helps. As you know, there's a 2-year lag. That's been the challenge, obviously, the last 2 years in helping to really putting a lot of pressure on our budgets and our campuses in that regard because of the enrollment decline. But I think, again, some of those are down to the level. As far as helping these colleges with their retention overall, we've got a great example right here with Georgia State University with their retention model and the record they had over the last 10 or 15 years in that regard. The Institute of Student Success that they created out of there, Dr. Tim Rennick still running that. We are, again, trying to metastasize those projects and those aptitudes across our system.
Is it me? Or do they not answer the question? He asked you. Maybe I'm just too impatient for the answer. I need to work on that. I do. Okay. Okay. let's go to the next day. We'll make it quick. Okay, this day. Oh, baby, I found Miss Millie from The Color Purple. But, it's like it's all love. It is all love. But I just have to show you this.
And honestly, you, the members of this room, and the governor have done such a good job of tackling the broadband issue that we don't really hear as much about it anymore. Gas has quickly become that hot top burner issue, no pun intended. The thing I'd ask the commission to do, if you have ideas on ways we can do that, we tried to be creative last year and set up a fund potentially in GFA, development, and even commercial development.
Ports right in the heart of this wood pellet
Come on, Miss
territory
Millie.
where those pellets are going out of the Brunswick port. I mean, it's 30 miles away from that port. They have zero natural gas in that entire county. When I took office on the PSC, January the 3rd of 2019, we started working on Brantley. And at that point, it was roughly $25 million to bring gas to that site that we were looking at there. Well, now that telephones.
It was taking too long.
There'd be fewer independent telephone
Yes.
companies to
Come
fund
on, Miss
that.
That
Millie.
fund is actually phasing out over time. I don't
But-
remember exactly. There was two parts to
She's
the
a
fund, and
Republican from
one part of that just phased out in the last couple.
She's a Republican from Nashville, Georgia, and she's on a lot of boards. Okay, as you can imagine. So when I saw her, I had to stop finding her. Okay, but yeah, Nashville is 3 hours from Atlanta. Okay, the next person, the next representative for us, and I do that with the face, because, you know, you're not sure, but, here is someone who was appointed by Governor Kemp. Her name is Shanzia Thomas.
See what? She got, huh?
And she's the chief um, internet officer or something like that. Something like that.
All right.
You can never. Well, I need help
Right,
with
floor
it.
is
I can
yours.
never get it right on the
afternoon.
second.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Shanzia Thomas. I am honored to serve as your state CIO and the Executive Director for the Georgia Technology Authority. I want to thank you for allowing me and my team members to come here and tell you about all the great work that we're doing at GTA.
Ain't that wonderful? Governor Kemp appointed her. And you know what? I have a little snip of something else we can see with her.
You are the first woman to become the CIO for the state of Georgia.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I think as I grew up in technology and I see my little girls grow up in technology, I always believe if you could see it, you could be it.
You can.
I'd love to hear a little bit about your journey.
Okay, so first of all, let me thank Governor Kemp for giving me this opportunity to serve Georgians in this capacity. You know, his vision for Georgia is...
She was like, you know what? Don't ask about me. Let's talk about Governor Kemp and how he has been so grateful, not grateful, gracious by giving me this post. Let's just talk about Governor Kemp. But you know what? After going through all this, you know what? I ain't got no problem with Kemp. I mean, he could probably give us more of those top posts, but we got something. We got something at the deal. Okay, let me. Okay, this is this the same one? Oh, okay. Here's another little slick joke. I was like, oh, hell no. Listen to this.
It could be, it depends, life insurance versus, you know, other lines. So I want to make sure I'm accurate in my response. And we'll get you the answer to that. But sir, we have a lot of tools.
I do not take pride in.
Born and raised in Lawrence County. Commissioner Spencer Moore, Department of Driver Services.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And first of all, thank you for the opportunity for the department to come speak about the budget request. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I missed something. Hold on.
And
Names promptly. In 30 days or less, if possible, you will reduce the number of complaints significantly. But when you start fighting with consumers over a piece of sheetrock or some nonsense, you're just making people and people, and that's one of our tasks is going around the state.
I'm sorry, I could
you have a
never.
recourse. When you're exasperated, when you can't find.
I just can't get it right on the second. I'm going to work on that. So, don't mean to bore you with the stuff that I don't need. And I don't want you to hear this because you'll fall asleep. Let's look at the gestures. Yeah. Okay.
But I ask you, send them our way. We stand ready to deal with that.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. You are.
Okay. I think the slick comment.
Wow.
Comment is coming.
No QR codes.
How did? We agree. Thank you.
And they just be walking around. And, well, y'all know how it is.
you doing all right?
Yeah, man. You good?
Yes, sir. Good. Right.
All right, y'all. We're ahead of schedule. Let's see if we can't stay ahead of the schedule.
Okay, here it is.
All right. Next up is a man that I love introducing because he's a hometown boy.
Yes, sir.
I hope you don't mind being called that.
I do not. I do not.
I'm pretty sure he did mind being called that, but if he had said, "Hell no, I don't want to be called it," it would have caused a lot of chaos. So I guess he chose his battle in that moment. That's how I feel.
Take pride.
Born and raised in Lawrence County. Commissioner Spencer Moore, Department of Driver Services.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
He's another commissioner.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity for the department.
That was appointed by
speak about
Kemp.
the budget requests that we have for 24 and 25.
Hold on a minute, Commissioner. Can you, thank you. All right, start back.
Yes, sir. I just want to start by thanking, of course, the governor and certainly this body for their support over the last many years.
Okay, so he's the commissioner for driver and transportation services, and he's basically asking for money for their department, which I'm sure he's gonna get. So, yeah. I just wanted to point out that little tidbit. I was like, oh, no, he did not. But hey, I'm sure they will get their funding. Let me see if there's anything I am missing out of here. Okay, now this was a 3-day situation. Okay, here's the next girl. And as you can see, I had to scroll all the way. Wait a minute. Okay, here's one other. Him and her. Wait. And y'all, this is only the appropriations committee. So, um, there's more, but
We're on probation for 20 years.
this is only the
Yes,
money
ma'am.
team.
I wouldn't make it
This is only the money team, is what I said. Okay.
probably.
I
I hope you're laughing at that, but that's okay.
No, I agree with
The Georgia Department of Corrections to protect Georgians by operating secure.
Okay, and this guy, his name is Tyrone Oliver, and he is
Good morning,
the
Mr. Chairman, and
commissioner
members of the
for
committee.
the
Let's go ahead and get right into the
Department of
governor's
Corrections.
recommendations, which we fully support. But before I do, I just want to kind of give a brief overview of the department, as it'll probably help and as we go through the amended 24 and fiscal year 25 budget. So the mission of the Georgia Department of Corrections is to protect Georgians by operating
I wish I had
secure
more time
facilities,
to go.
providing opportunities.
I wish I had more time to go deeper into this, but every state has a YouTube page where you can follow all of this kind of stuff. So go there and see what's going on. Okay, after him, let me see, there's another sister. Now, I did notice a trend that, you know, the bros and the sisters, they, they, their jobs may be a little more hectic than the other ones, but, you know, they getting paid, baby.
The Department of Juvenile Justice for all of their hard work. They are some of the hardest working men and women
And her
in
name
state government
is
anywhere. So thank you to each one of them.
Shonda
I also want to say
Cobb.
thank you to
Oh,
the
there
staff
it is,
that I have
Shawanda
here
Cobb.
with me today.
This is another
I
commissioner
have our
that was
CFO, Mr.
appointed
Stephen Carter Williams,
by your boy,
our Deputy
Brian Kim.
CFO, Mr. Chris Lampley, as well as Margaret K. Wood, who is our legislative and community liaison.
And, you know, she's
So I
asking
just
for
want to
money.
start.
She's basically asking for money for, you know, as you can see, juveniles in the detention area. Okay. And here is the last person that I'm going to show you. But, you know, if you want to see more, it is GPB Lawmakers. And this was from yesterday. And he talks about block grants. And look at the room. If I can get to
and
play.
explain how we will proceed. Please welcome Mr. Jackson.
Oh, look at that room.
Thank you, Representative Katie Dempsey. As Representative Dempsey has stated, the Department of Human Services, better known as DHS, will receive public comments on 3 federal block grants today. By federal law, Georgia is required to hold public hearings on these grants. These 3 grants are the Community Services Block Grant, Low Income Energy Assistance Block Grant, and the Social Services Block Grant.
And to my understanding, anybody can apply for that grant. So if you live here, go to, well, call this number. Call this number for more information. You can probably get some coins. Okay? Because let me see, it says the applicant needs to be a U.S. citizen or a legally admitted immigrant. So do that. Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to say about the system here. So hopefully you understood any of this. All right. And like I said, wait, I need to go this way. It is all love. Okay. And this shirt is in my shop. The link is in the description. Talk to you later. Bye.